Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
I missed you guys. I feel like I never see you anymore. It's
Where you been?
It's good to see you. How have you guys been?
Good. You have a good sleep?
Not really. So I got this new neck pillow, and I told you how I've like the first week I was sleeping with it upside down, so it was wrong. Like it was actually doing more damage to my neck.
Wearing it backwards?
Yeah. And now I've been sleeping with the right way. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we've just been staring at a screen for 10 straight hours and then I go straight to bed and it's just like hard to go to sleep at that point. Like, have you guys been experiencing difficulty going to sleep right after we're done with the streams? More so Jay, because you're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I've been staying up for like an hour or two after the streams, generally, which is not ideal.
No,
but
it's not. No,
you know what
it's
you're
not.
experiencing?
What?
And you experience this after you do like like after the show at the House of Blues, after meet and greets, right? You experience a bit of a decompression. And that decompression is because you have spent, quite literally, you've just spent hours mentally being on. And so now you have to decompress from being on.
Yeah.
I mean, I coming home from a game, I driving home. This is why when I lived in Stockton and played in Oakland, I did not mind the hour drive home at times because I needed to mentally decompress. Like if I was walking out of the clubhouse and then was in my house 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, like I am still in the seventh inning mentally.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I can't even eat food for 2 hours after a game. Like the idea of sitting down and eating. And I was one of those dudes. Like I just, like buddy, like I was a human Malinois. Like I just chomping at the fucking bit. Like you got to give me something to do, and I will go do it until I can't move. But mentally, I needed to get away from that mindset, and the drive allows you to do it. So as soon as you take the headset off, that's kind of what I've tried to explain to people, because I've had a lot of people ask me like, bro, I know your schedule grindy, you got a lot going on. When I leave the field, I get done. The game's over at, let's say, 10 o'clock. I get home. I'm not going to bed until midnight, maybe, because that's an hour plus of decompression. I do need to eat after the game as well. And then I got to get up the next morning and start recording the podcast at 8 a.m. So if I were to go to bed at midnight, eyes closed, and then wake up at 7 a.m., I would have 7 hours of sleep, which is not bad, but that's just not how that works. So I really don't have time when I get up. I get the rundown and it's okay. I don't have time to read through all of these links and these articles and these. I'm working on what I gathered last night, what I can thumb through this morning, and you got to go. But that decompression, like that just has to happen. But that cycle, every time you take the headset off, you can't just turn the page.
Yeah, it's almost like Dallas's pick'ems in terms of wild rides. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. You know it, you love it. Dallas almost won last night, yeah?
Almost won. We needed a hit from Vaughn.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to deliver. Yeah, I took a page out of your book, Jared. He was your guy. We were talking about guys that were going to blow up and big stage. Who's going to perform?
What page did you take out of my book?
Well, I had Nico Horner, who did perform very well, but his team was cut short.
Sure.
Andrew Vaughn.
So you're riding the Von Jovi. Well,
but now I blame you because Von Jovi is the one who did not hold up his end of the bargain. He let me down. He let several. No, he hasn't let me down per se. He just hasn't got his hit yet. That's all.
Sure. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. So if you guys haven't been following along in the live streams, they've been a lot of fun. The people that have tuned in, thank you guys very much. It's like we've been saying, it's very much like your local hole in the wall bar It's a lot of regulars. It's a lot of the same folks that now like I can look at someone in the chat and I would say 30% of the time, realistically speaking, I can be like, all right, I know that guy is that guy's a Mets fan. That guy's a Yankees fan. That guy's a Cubs fan. Shout out to that guy because he's a Mariners fan. So it's kind of become very communal, which is cool. Tonight we will. I don't want to promise you anything because we were supposed to have a special guest last night who didn't show up because he said he was hanging TVs. Who's hanging TV? Like if you're a former baseball player, who's hanging TVs during the fucking ALCS?
Well, how else are you going to watch it?
I guess. It was TVs plural though, Dallas. Like you're not hanging multiple TVs unless you're me or you have your own TV hanging business. But hopefully we can get that guest in. But Jacob Nottingham, who is world famous for having 19 different tenures with the Seattle Mariners, will be joining us for the live stream tonight for the ALCS. So that'll be cool to have his perspective. I'm sure he knows a bunch of the guys, has to know a bunch of the guys that are on the team right now. So Naughty will be there with us tonight. We had Lou Merloni pop in the other night. Jeremy Piven just popped in to BID. You never know. You never know. That's the attraction of just the nuts and baseball is dead. You never know who's going to walk through that door. So it's a very exciting time. It's not very exciting if you are the Toronto Blue Jays or you are the Milwaukee Brewers, though. Those are two teams that find themselves down 0-2 going to the other place. You know, you open up, you work all year long to achieve home field advantage in a series like this. You get it. You go into it feeling great. The Yankees, they get knocked off by the Jays and they have this big fancy celebration. And the Brewers were beating ass all season long. The Brewers are probably going into the NLCS feeling great because it's like, well, we're 6-0 against the Dodgers this year. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Well, you're going to be down 0-2 going back to LA. That's how that's going to go. So, Jay, hey, dealer's pick. What series would you like to talk about first?
With the game being tonight, let's talk about the ALCS.
Let's talk about the book.
Let's wrap back around. Yeah, let's talk about the book. That's another all-timer.
Back to the book.
Throw this one in that pile.
Okay, the ALCS resumes tonight, in Seattle, and I'm just gonna sit here and say right now, right off rip, like, am I surprised that the Brewers are down 0-2? No, not after the way the fucking Blake Snell and Yamamoto pitched in their starts in that series. Like, that should be surprising to no one. Am I surprised that the Jays kind of got snuffed out at home in those two games, especially by a Seattle Mariners offense? Like we're talking about an offense that all season long depended on Cal Raleigh. And in the playoffs, it's been all fucking Polanco. Like, Polanco has been the hero in this series for Seattle. But yeah, like, if you were to ask me, are you surprised to find the Jays down 0-2? I think we all are at this point. Yes?
Yeah. I mean, and I think a lot of it had to do with just think about how the game started, how game one started with the fireworks, right? From Springer 1-0. It felt like the table was being set. It felt like the table was being set. Like, all right, here's the momentum that this team has been building, has been carrying, and then it just never crested. And that has been the surprising issue, or the surprise ultimately is the fact that they just have never been able to get it going.
I mean, I think that this is kind of stating the obvious, but for the Jays, you've depended on certain individuals to get to where you are, which I don't want to say they made quick work of the Yankees, but I never felt like the Jays were in jeopardy of losing that series. I mean, especially after they kind of blew their doors off in Toronto in the division series. But Vladdy's giving you nothing. He does not have a hit. Varsho does not have a hit. Those were two dudes that in the Yankee series, that was 2/3 of your offensive onslaught. Clement was a dude that did some damage, some big time damage against the Yankees. And I I mean, really, like, what have you had offensively besides Springer? Like, is Springer the only guy that's been able to give you anything so far?
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. That's it.
And for him, it's what? It's a couple. Like, he's got fucking 2 hits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, dude, like for the same thing that's happened to the Brewers is happening to the Blue Jays. Why are the Mariners in this position? They're not here because they just outslugged and bludgeoned the baseball and were just that much better offensively than everybody else. That is not why they're here. They're here because they have been able to put in concert their performances on the mound while doing just enough offensively. And where they get it from, frankly, they don't give a damn. And that is what has worked out. You got a great outing from Miller. You got it. I mean, it's your starting pitching's. What do you got?
There was some radio host that was spouting off about this series and called Bryce Miller a journeyman. I was like, buddy, journey where? To the big leagues with the same team, and he's been there ever since. Like, what are we talking about? There's just some people opining on baseball these days that really they just need to not. But yeah, the trio of Varsho, Vladdy, and Clement are hitting 048 with a 139 OPS to start this series. A 139 OPS. That's not going to get it done. Like, that was your 3-headed monster that beat the Yankees into submission, and they've given you nothing. Whereas J-Rod, Polanco, Cal, and Naylor are hitting 367 with a 1224 OPS to start this series. They've got 11 hits. 4 of them are bombs. So, yeah. Well,
and the bullpen, right? You get the start that you get from Miller on Sunday, and then Gilbert taking the ball on short rest gives you 3, like basically just gives you 3 innings. They were not great innings. Gave up a couple runs, but the bullpen for the Mariners came in and shut shit down. Just nuked the offense. Done. No more. And that's what they did behind Miller. That's what they just did behind Gilbert. And what does that do? That gives their offense just enough time to allow one of these other guys to step up in a big spot. That's why building innings for this team is so important, is because you need base runners in case they run into that big swing. And in the event that you're not going to run into that big swing, we need somebody to step up. So they feel like we're just a team who's going to have to get 3 hits in an inning if it's not going to be a homer to score a run, maybe even 4. like that's just how that offense goes, it feels like. But they have done exactly what they have needed to do in just the right time.
And I think that specifically, the bullpen is probably the biggest surprise to me, like individual storyline wise, because I do think one of the things that I zeroed in on, and we talked about on the podcast in the preview, was that, the Mariners bullpen had been run pretty ragged leading into the CS, right? And what was that going to translate to? That had trickled into the starting rotation coming in relief as well. And instead, we look up through 2 games, and to Dallas's point, it's 9 scoreless innings for the Mariners bullpen so far. And to further, confound me, at least, they've done it with not the sort of swing and miss dominance that you have maybe come to expect from a lot of the Mariners relievers as well. It's been a lot of balls in play, but no runs. And that's not even a lot of hard contact necessarily. And that to me is like, the offense, individual batters can come and go, but that they've been able to rebound so well from the usage that they took in the DS and gone right into the CS and really erased what I thought was the Blue Jays' main advantage, which was not rest necessarily in the sense we think about it, but that they were ready to go from a bullpen and starting rotation standpoint, and they've totally wasted it.
Yeah, they were in a position to recalibrate, is what they were in a position to do, and they just were not able to functionally take advantage of that.
Who would you surmise leads the playoffs in bullpen innings?
What do you mean? Leads
Like by team or individual player?
the Brewers
Team. No.
Yeah. I'll say, I mean, if it's not the Brewers, I'll say it's the Mariners.
No.
Blue Jays.
No.
I don't know. Dodgers.
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
I thought you were talking about teams that were still in this thing.
No. I said
I didn't.
what
I just
team.
didn't get it right.
Yeah, I said what team leads the postseason in bullpen innings. Yeah, the Cubs. I would not have guessed that either. But it sure is. The Seattle Mariners bullpen has thrown 36 innings. And the Blue Jays have thrown 28 and a third. So they're kind of evenly matched. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but they're 4 and 5 in the playoffs.
I'm not saying that this alone negates the value of swing and miss. Obviously, it doesn't. But in a very fun with small sample sizes sense in this series, just to go back to the bullpen thing, like the Mariners bullpen has allowed 1 hit while striking out 4 batters in 31 batters faced in 9 innings. The Blue Jays have struck out 16 batters in 40 batters faced. So they've basically got like triple the strikeout rate that the Mariners bullpen has, and yet their ERA as a unit is 6.48. Just funny how it works sometimes.
A large part of the Mariners' success statistically is showing up just that last game with Bizzardo and company.
Yeah.
2 innings a pop of shutout baseball. Like that's where you're that right there is where your nuts and bolts come from. That's it. That's it. I mean, look at the difference in ERA between the two. The Mariners, with 36 innings under their belt as a group, are sporting a 3.25 ERA. The Blue Jays, with 28 and a third innings under their belt, are rocking a 6.3. 6.35. Like that is not ideal. Opponents are hitting almost 300 against the Blue Jays bullpen. They're hitting 296. The Mariners bullpen is yielding a 167 opponent's batting average.
And who really knows where things go? Because of course it's baseball, and at least, the first 2 games have been against my expectations. But it doesn't feel like on paper it's scheduled to get better for the Blue Jays from here on out, because you feel like the Mariners have the pitching advantage in both games 3 and 4 in a way that you probably can't even argue they had in 1 and 2. Like the Blue Jays' best shots in the series felt like Gausman, their ace, and what we had seen from Yasevich the previous outing, which was utter dominance against the Yankees. And now it's Kirby Bieber and Scherzer's looming in game 4. And, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's a massive, massive question mark in a way that no other pitcher in this series really is.
Well, and not only that, but almost on the flip side of that is Brian Wu. I don't want to say looming, because we don't know what he's going to be able to bring to the table, but that is something that you also have to account for to an extent, because whether that's an inning worth of work, who knows, right? We don't know. But now you have to think that you're asking Yasevich and Gausman to do something that they were unable to do, which is pitch well enough or deep into the game enough to give their team a chance to win both of those games, something that they just couldn't do. And the likelihood of doing that now here in what could very well be a clinching scenario for the Mariners, that's behind the 8 ball is what that is. That is behind the 8 ball.
I mean, I asked you last night, Dallas, are both these series over?
And I said, yes, quickly.
You didn't even give it a thought.
Didn't even give it a thought. And it's far too early for any sort of victory lap regarding the Mariners. I think at this point I would be safe in taking one, just because we know they're here because of what their pitching staff has been able to do. But I think this is great theater, man. Watching what these starters are capable of and how they have been able to squeeze what they can out of them in hopes to getting to this point and then utilizing their bullpen and the bullpen stepping up. I mean, anytime you have 3 high leverage guys at the back end of your bullpen, deep in the thick of a postseason, each individual posts their career high in an outing in the same game. And that's the kind of effort that's moving you on to the next round. Like that is, buddy, I get aroused. Because this is what the Mariners were supposed to be doing. And this is how they were supposed to be doing it.
I think if you have those guys going that I mentioned earlier, J-Rod, Polanco, Cal, and Naylor, like if those guys are swinging it, I mean, the Mariners turn into a completely different team. Like they're
totally different.
If you have 4 dudes that are hitting with power and average 4, and you have that bullpen and you have that rotation, I mean, I don't want to say who's stopping them because the answer is the Dodgers, but I think it's not so who's stopping Seattle. It's, is there a team that can stop the Dodgers from winning again? And the answer becomes the Mariners if Seattle's getting that type of offense from those 4 guys.
I will just gently say again that the Mariners offense during the regular season had the exact same weighted runs created plus as the Dodgers offense. So if it ends up being Dodgers Mariners, I just don't think, again, like it wasn't with the Blue Jays, it's not the deficit offensively that it would appear at first glance. This is
and
as to you guys are what you're just saying, if those guys are going, and more often than not this season, the collective of them was going. And this is a very dangerous offense, and we have seen that in one of these games. They scored 10 runs in one of these games.
And again, the Dodger bullpen, right, has shown cracks, has shown crevices, and you're watching a Mariner bullpen almost continue to shore itself up. And if we're talking about a separation in the starting rotation, I mean, what you just saw from Yamamoto, what you saw from Snell, that's as impressive as it gets. And I think you do have a couple guys who could go toe-to-toe with those guys on any given night in a Gilbert and in a Castillo, right? Like I have no worry about that either. So I like, and I mean, giving Kirby an opportunity. Like I like what the Mariners bring to the table in that head-to-head matchup, rotation-wise as well.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here and start breaking down a Mariners Dodgers World Series, but I think that that's the matchup that delivers the most firepower by far.
From this point on with these teams, I think so.
A team that's never won before against the team that's ruining baseball with all of its winning and spending. Yeah.
I mean, that is as David and Goliath as it gets, is it not?
Yeah.
I think when the Dodgers get there, I think they will tell you, we're not falling for the whole, underdog,
that's what they're supposed
happy to be here, never been here before. Like, we're not falling for that shit.
Oh, they shouldn't. I mean, the team that they'd be facing is probably just as good as they are, but
yeah. I mean, you heard Doc try to tiptoe around it and shine the light on Murph in his effort to play the little engine that could. That's exactly how Doc put it, right? We're not gonna let these guys sneak up on us. They won more baseball games than anybody in the regular season. Like, I'm not letting, like, that's not a narrative that we're just gonna let fly by. Like, no, you're not the little engine that could.
But this one feels a little bit more on the nose to what Dave Roberts was saying about the Brewers. Like, the Mariners have never been to the World Series.
No.
I mean, I think I've been saying it more than anybody. I mean, their offense has been Cal Raleigh, and then hopefully someone else can contribute something. But, they went out at the deadline. I think it's crazy that the Suarez deal became what it's become. Like, the fact that he hasn't just immediately gone from what he was doing to just some semblance of that with the Mariners, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, he hit, how many home runs did he hit, had he hit at the time that he was traded?
30.
30 something, 33.
Was it the most home runs ever for a player that was traded?
Traded, yeah, 36 at the time 36. He was traded. Hit 13 over the remainder of the season with an OPS 215 points lower than it was with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Like, imagine if Seattle had fucking pre-trade Suarez.
Yeah, if that translates, that's a complete...
If that was the thing, I would have fucking picked Seattle.
I mean, I do think they're in a position, though, where he can be the 5th or 6th best offensive player on the team and they can win the World Series. And his whole deal is a timely long ball. And
yeah.
I feel like, while I'm not necessarily anticipating redemption for him, that he has done so poorly up until now, regular season and postseason for the Mariners, like, all it takes is a home run in Game 3 of the World Series in a critical moment, or 2 home runs in the series overall, to change the whole narrative on what Eugenio Suarez brought for them, and he's uniquely suited to do that with his power. So
he's been the Mariners' worst hitter this postseason. He's hit for the whole playoffs. He's hitting 138 with a 469 OPS. He is the worst hitter on the team.
It's been a disaster.
But you know what?
It's been a bad trade, but there's still time for it to be a successful trade, which is crazy.
I was just going to say,
sure.
There's as many as, for Eugenio Suarez, there's as many as 12 games left, right? There's as many as 12 baseball games left for him to play. So between now and then, one big swing can erase everything that he hasn't done in the postseason from here to the end. So if it's a swing that gets him over the hump into the World Series, you'll remember that swing. Should he go missing in action again, we'll remember that happened as well, and that will be an indictment on why they were not able to do anything in the World Series. Fair enough. If that swing doesn't come until the World Series and it propels them to their first World Series win in the history of the franchise, you will not give a shit that Eugenio Suarez didn't do a damn thing in the championship series. You won't care, because the one swing that he still has in his back pocket, or an opportunity to get off anyway, is still waiting. You got 12 games. Hey, Eugenio, pick your spot.
I'm just disappointed. But, I mean, to your point, I think you're completely correct that he could be statistically the worst hitter on the Mariners for the entire postseason, but it could all be worth it with one swing that changes the series or wins a series or anything like that. And that's still very much on the table.
And how good would it feel, not only for him, but for Mariners fans, to seemingly have that come to a head where they both probably feel like they've missed out on this moment once before?
Jay, I'll ask you, are both of these series over?
I think the answer is yes. If that means the two teams leading the series will go on to win it. I still think that the Blue Jays can win a game or two. I think the other series is more definitively like over in my sense.
See that. I don't know, because game one, I mean, we'll get to the fucking NLCS, but I feel like that series is closer than it feels. And I feel like it's felt like the Brewers have gotten dominated and that they have no shot simply because of the actions of two men. I mean, it's really been Yamamoto and Snell just going out there and doing what they did on the mound. And even still, with what Snell did in game one, the Brewers very much could have won that game.
For very sure. Much. But I do think, like, it's easy to feel this way when, it's what we talked about right before the series. But, like, I think the number one thing that we hammered on this series was that the Dodgers starting rotation was going to overwhelm the Milwaukee Brewers, and that the Brewers piece it together approach was, while very effective, maybe, was not going to be able to get them to the finish line in this series. And that, to me, through two games, feels like fucking exactly what's happened. And I know it's been ultra spectacular from Snell and Yamamoto, but, like, they're ultra spectacular pitchers. And, like, this team, this unit is on a generational run from starting pitching, and we'll see whether it holds up. But right now it looks like it's holding up enough to get them maybe to the World Series. And last night to me felt like 5-1. Yeah, okay, that's not like the most definitive outcome that we've had in the postseason, but it just felt like a team that just was overwhelming another team and just kind of pushing them further and further down, and there was nothing the other team could do about it.
19 2/3 innings from the starting pitchers of the Milwaukee Brewers in the playoffs this year. 19 2/3. The fellas on the top of the mountain, those are the Dodgers. 52 2/3 innings, a 1.54 ERA. The Brewers and their 19 2/3 innings worth of work from their starters have yielded a 6.86 ERA.
I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And Jay, you want to know what it is? This is why I've been saying what I've been saying about the starting pitching this postseason. Is it feels like, and I know that this is not necessarily the case with the Brewers, and you know how they've gone about it, but it feels like it's one school of thought that says, oh, well, you know what? And this isn't, I'm not talking about the Brewers specifically when I say this. This is just baseball as a whole. There's a group think that says we can apply all of our outs and all of our arms. We'll just call them out getters and we'll deploy them accordingly. And this is how we're going to be able to win baseball games. And if I do this correctly, we should have no problem competing against these other teams. And then these other teams roll in and go, hey, we got fucking Snell. He starts Yamamoto. He starts with just these big rock throwing starters. And just trying to get out. So let's see how good that does. It's like, oh, wow. Are we being reminded that having actual fucking starting pitchers matters? And you're being reminded in the game's brightest moments, on its biggest stage, what is shining the brightest right now? The starting pitching. Yamamoto just set the world on fire with his outing. You're seeing it from Snell. You're seeing it from everybody who's taking the baseball in a starting role that has a rotation of viability. I mean, the numbers speak for itself.
Yeah, and just to reiterate or hammer home one of the points, it's like you've seen rotations before where they've had pristine ERAs in the postseason, but you look under the hood and the rotation is going 4 or 5 innings every start. The Dodgers have thrown 14 more innings than any other team in the postseason. Like it's from the starting rotation. And then you couple that with the gap that you illuminated between the Brewers and the Dodgers specifically, which is like a fucking joke. And you really do start to wonder, like, not only from a talent perspective, but then from a math perspective, like how the fuck is Milwaukee even supposed to do this? Like, if this is what they're up against, and so
that's
far,
it. How are they? How are they supposed to compete? Like realistically, the Milwaukee Brewers starting rotation has the second worst ERA in the postseason, behind the Reds, who played 2 games.
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I tweeted last night. That was a highest paid pitcher in baseball history start right there, if I had to guess. And all I was saying was he was great, and that's what it should look like when the highest paid pitcher in baseball goes out there to make a start. I think Dodger fans are getting really sensitive to the whole, like, you're buying a championship, like basically what Yankees fans in the 90s had to deal with. Like, you're buying a championship and, you know, you're not doing it the right way and this and that. Like, people got offended by me saying that, but what I was trying to say and what I did say was that's what it looks like, or that's what it should look like when the highest paid pitcher in baseball goes out there in a playoff game and pitches in a big league ball game. It's just complete and utter domination, complete game.
What? Stop it. Behave this way. You're in the best position in the industry. There is not a single team that isn't jealous of what you are able to do. Know that. Wake up and go to bed knowing that. From that point, move on. And I would not give a damn what anybody's opinion is on how we're winning baseball games. No. We're doing it in a way that nobody else can do it. Be
not after
proud
you've
of that.
Already won 2. Like, if you've already won 2 as this group that has cornered the Japanese talent market and has been spending billions on your roster. Like, you've got to be numb to it by now. Like, you can't be bothered by people saying, you fucking bought a championship. Like, you have an owner that cares more than the other owners. Other owners are allowed to spend as much as the Dodgers do. They just don't.
Yeah. Don't even entertain it. Don't even like this is honestly an opportunity for the Dodger fans, in my opinion, to vault themselves above how Yankee fans have reacted to these sort of accusations and this sort of vitriol, right? Just act like you can't even hear it. The shouts are coming from so low, they don't make their way all the way up to the mountaintop where you're standing as fans. You can't even hear it. What are they angry about? That we're winning again? Well, yeah, they should be. Moving on. Also, no, they're angry how we're winning. Oh, you mean with great business and great scouting and development? Yeah, moving on. I don't have time for that.
Also, they're making it about themselves. Like, Jared's tweet is about Yamamoto, and I read that tweet and I read it as, hey, like, we were waiting for the signature start from Yamamoto since signing that contract. Like, he's been great. Like, he has delivered on the deal. Don't get me wrong, up until that start. But this was the start that took him into that other pantheon, right? Where it's like, oh, this is an ace, like a capital ace, right? Like, this isn't the guy that the Dodgers are taking along a little bit slower than we all would like, and whose debut season only included 90 innings or whatever it was before the postseason. Like, this is the guy who's delivering you a complete game, 1 run in game 2 of the NLCS. Like, that's what we were waiting for, and he delivered.
Postseason CG.
Yep. I mean, in a way, what a fucking crazy question to ask. But what start impressed you more, Snell's or Yamamoto's?
I think Yamamoto's.
I mean, Snell at one point retired, 15, 16 straight guys and
15 in a row,
punched out 10 plus.
Mm-hmm. I think Yamamoto's simply because you're able to finish it. I mean, what Yamamoto finished with? 8 punchies? 9?
7.
7?
Yeah.
Close enough.
I think it's I don't think it's unfair to ask which one was more impressive.
No, not at all. I think it's a tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the game score for each, Jay? Do you know offhand?
90 and 83 in Snell's favor.
Yeah. I think
the dominance will always be rewarded.
Yeah, like, you're more inclined to pick Yamamoto because he finished it, but I think the dominance factor.
So then we
Snell.
shift. So here's a different way to look at it: is which performance would you like as a manager in the NLCS?
Of course, you pick Yamamoto. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So then it almost feels like we know why that one's. I don't want to call it more valuable.
Yeah.
But I'll call it more valuable because
it's more valuable. It is
absolutely. One was more dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I also look at that and say,
first guy since Don Larson faced the minimum through 8 for Snell. But yeah, more dominant. Don Larson.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you remember what
Don
he did?
was a little better. Donnie was a little better,
Yeah.
He was facing plumbers,
There's only a few of us, Jay, that are capable. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. No,
it took me a second.
You brought it up. I didn't want to bring it up.
Was more valuable. Yeah, Dallas felt a little threatened by Blake Snell. Wants to make sure that line is drawn in black ink, baby. All right. Yeah, I'll go with it. Sure, Yamamoto's is better, buddy.
Yeah.
That made Moto.
Yeah, it was a great start, but it's not as great as Harry's.
No. You are.
No.
I can see my own reflection in my Wait. Was Harry's for those are well, I might be using them for the wrong thing. That's all right.
I think it's kind of a dealer's choice type deal.
I can tell you they work.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, why not?
Sack is a slip inside.
Yeah, some of my older habits included the dull razors, the cheap ass plastic dollar razors, because when I was in college, that's the best I could do. But now it's time for the luxury the luxury of Harry's, which is why I made the switch. And, I talk about luxury. You're probably like, well, I want to save some money. I can't be going from plastic to luxury like that. Well, it's very affordable. Like, don't let the idea of the quality being so much better put something in your head that just isn't true. Because Harry's, it's $30 for refills.
What?
Yep. Just $30. Yeah, it's cheap. It just makes sense. It's high quality. $30 for the refills when Harry gives you the better blades for a fraction of the price that I'm sure that you're used to paying. Harry's has launched their most advanced razor ever, and it's still cheaper than the Gillette Fusion 5. And if you don't love your shave, Harry's will make it right. No questions asked. Risk-free trial means there's zero downside to giving it a shot. Zero downside at all. With Harry's Plus, you get barbershop quality shave with German engineered blades. Each blade is honed at 3 different angles to cut hair cleanly at the root without tugging. Blade spacing is optimized to glide smoothly and avoid clogging. Drugstore blades clog so fast. And every cartridge includes a lubricating strip with aloe and vitamin E to calm skin while you shave. Just makes sense. Makes financial sense. Makes sense for your skin. Makes sense for your shaving habits. Like, what are we doing here? Harry's Plus is Harry's heaviest razor handle ever, made from real metal, never plastic, designed to fit comfortably in your hand. Heavier handle means more control and a luxurious feel. Harry's doesn't just make razors. They've got a full line of grooming essentials from shave gel to deodorant to body wash, all thoroughly made and priced to stock up. All of Harry's blades and grooming products can be delivered right to your door, set preferred schedule, and never run out of blades ever again. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/BID. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 redefined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just go to harrys.com/BID to claim this offer. And after your purchase, they're going to ask you, where'd you hear about Harry's? And what you're going to do is you're going to say, I heard about Harry's from BID. Baseball is dead. That's what your role is here. Shout out to Harry's, sponsored today's podcast. We appreciate you guys very much. Okay, we obviously we blew Yamamoto and Snell for what they did in their outings, which is 100% deserved. Before we move on from those outings, Jay, hey, were there any nugs from Just the Nuts that you wanted to share in regards to those two performances?
From Snell and Yamamoto?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please. Yamamoto became the first Dodgers pitcher with a complete game in the postseason since Jose Lima in Game 3 of the 2004 NLDS. Bet you that's not the name most people would have pulled. And the first Dodgers pitcher to do so in the NLCS since Oral Hershiser shot him out, the Bulldog, in Game 2 of the 1988 World Series. Yamamoto is also the first pitcher with a complete game in the postseason in his age 26 season or younger since Mad Bum in Game 5 of the 2014 World Series, and the first right-handed pitcher, age 26 or younger, to do so since Tim Lincecum in the 2010 NLDS. Blake Snell, on the other hand, 1 second, please. He is now the second pitcher in history to have 28 or more strikeouts and no more than 6 hits allowed over any 3-start span in the postseason, joining Mike Mussina in 1997. So it's not just, as we all know, obviously, it's not just his most recent start. He's on one of the most epic runs of all time. If you look at just 28 or more strikeouts and 2 earned runs allowed or fewer through the first 3 starts of a single postseason by left-handed pitchers all time, it's Snell in 25, Cliff Lee in 2010, and Sandy Koufax in 1965. This was a bit of a controversial one, as it turned out, but Blake Snell's start tonight is the first in postseason history tonight being October 13th, featuring 0 walks, 10 or more strikeouts, and no more than 1 hit allowed. If you're looking to kill some time, go ahead and dig into who had that one first. The highest game score by a left-handed pitcher in postseason history, as Jared asked earlier, Babe Ruth in 97, with 97 in 1916, Dave McNally with 97 in 1969, Ken Holtzman 93 in 1973, Randy Johnson put up multiple 91s in 2001, both in the NLCS and in the World Series. And then Cliff Lee in the 2010 ALCS and Vida Blue in the 1974 ALCS are the only other instances of 90 or higher game score by a left-handed pitcher in postseason history. So by some metrics, this was one of the 7 or 8 most dominant Blake Snells, not Yamamoto's, Blake Snells, by a left-handed pitcher in postseason history. So those are the Nuggs as it relates to Snell and Yamamoto. Thank you.
Do you think that there is a alternate universe where Dallas Braden makes it to the postseason with the A's and that list looks a little bit different?
Oh, you know what? No.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I appreciate your honesty, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it is true. It's not his fault that he didn't get the opportunity to pitch in the postseason.
No. Yeah. It's really more a commentary on the team building that was going on for the A's at the time that didn't give Dallas adequate opportunity to showcase his greatness in the postseason. But
I appreciate that perspective significantly more than your initial response.
Well, I mean, my initial response, was
True.
Dallas's perfect game. Do you know your game score off of the perfect game?
No idea.
93, folks.
Ooh, pretty good.
So better than Snell's.
Yeah, Dallas Braden pitched a better game than what Blake Snell did. That's a fact.
Yep. Unfortunately, he's still behind Babe Ruth's performance in the 1916 World Series.
Well, I don't think it counts.
Maybe not.
That was against Milkman, right? Yeah. So, sorry about it.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the 2010 Oakland A's. Can you name that rotation? Who were your rotation mates the year that you almost threw 200 innings, Dallas? There were some horses in that fucking stable.
Yeah, me, Brett, Gio, Dactyl, and then
Who the fuck is Dactyl?
Cahill.
Okay, well, no one calls him that, so call him Trevor Cahill for the rest of the folks that are listening.
And then
Would you believe it if I told you Ben Sheets made 20 starts for the 2010 A's?
Well, I was going to say there was multiple guys who made multiple starts. Because Sheeter was our opening day starter.
Sheeter.
That's a good one. Good.
Sheets.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least it's not Sheetsy, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Vin Mazzaro.
Vinny Maz.
Made 18 starts.
Vinny Maz. Vinny Maz.
Vinny
I bet I could guess all of
Maz.
these nicknames.
Yeah. Gio Gonzalez threw 200 and 2/3 innings. Cahill threw 196 and 2/3, and Dallas threw 192 and 2/3 innings.
That was the year he was inspired by Craig Breslow's work in the bullpen, I believe. That's what propelled him to so many innings. He just saw what was going on.
Yeah.
Like,
That bullpen had Bailey, Breslow, Ziegler, Blevins.
That was Boom Boom. That was Boom Boom's rookie year. Or
Who
was it
the
09?
fuck is Boom Boom?
Bailey, your pitching coach.
Boom Boom.
Rookie of the
Was
year?
that his rookie year? No. The year before.
09.
09. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking 10.
No.
Talking the year that you almost threw 200 innings in the big leagues, Dallas. How many tickets you punched that year? 192 and 2/3 innings. How many tickets did you punch?
70?
113. Yeah.
Big fan of my
It's about 200 shy of what Randy Johnson would have done in the same amount of innings, but to each his own. Outs are outs, right? Outs are outs.
Edged me out.
Yep. We're actually closing in on episode 400, and Dallas promised us a guest, someone who has hit at least 400 big league homers. Who you got, Dallas? Who's in the Rolodex?
We got locked in.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
We're 3 episodes away. This is 397. We need someone who has hit 400 big league home runs. I'm just saying, if you need me to tap in to take it from here, I can do that. I'm sure I know plenty of guys that have hit 400 plus.
Yeah, no, I don't know how this became my responsibility.
I think because you were bragging about how many Hall of Famers you were friends with.
Yeah, you said you could get Jim Tomey.
Just not something I would ever do.
You did say you could get Tomey, no problem.
I did not say I could get. Oh, yeah,
you said you were having lunch.
Big Mac was just here yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is in August when I'm at the.
Yeah. Like realistically, let's see, MLB all-time home run list. Realistically, there's got to be 15 dudes that have hit 400 plus home runs that we could get on this fucking show.
What day is it? What day?
It's totally up to us. Mike Trout, you could get Mike Trout if you wanted to. He just signed a baseball for you. He's at 404.
Alfonso Soriano's not doing dick. Let's get him.
No. Piazza, you know him, right? Your former teammate. Cal Ripken, yep. I could probably get Cal if we wanted Cal. Andrew Jones, I want to say I have his phone number. I've never texted him, but someone gave me his phone number. I can't remember who, and I don't know why, but I have his number. Carlos Beltran, I feel like he's laying low. Giambi, do you know Giambi from his A's days, Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you do?
No problem on Giambi, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, at that point,
like no problem on Giambi. Yeah.
I'm
Vladdy. Didn't we just get pitched Vladdy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. We were working on a translator for that. Jose Canseco. You love Jose. I feel like we could get Jose, no problem.
I took a page. I received some advice. I had a conversation, and there was some peace made. Jose and I have shaken hands. All is right in the world. We're good.
All right. On the podcast, number 400, Jose
wow.
Canseco.
Yeah. That'd be great. Considering I believe he charges money for podcast appearances. So if we can get him for free, if we could bypass that through the power of friendship, that would really move mountains for me.
Yeah.
Chipper Jones, I don't know.
See, I almost how do I call Mac and ask him hey, we're having our 400th episode.
No, you save him for 5.
Yeah.
That seems like one we save for 5.
We'll just consider 500 locked in then. So
yeah.
Big Mac's coming for 5.
So I'm not texting Mac for 4.
No.
We could get Cher on, have him do maybe stump a little bit.
We could get Sheffield for 5 too. Or Poppy. Manny gave me his number, never responded though.
What about Paulie?
Paulie?
Uncle Paulie?
Canerico.
Yeah.
Oh. I feel like someone maybe in the past offered us Griffey many moons ago, but the agreement was he only wanted to talk about paintings or something or art. It was weird. It was you can have Griffey, but you can't talk about baseball. He just wants to talk about paintings.
It'd be pretty funny to have him on for our 400th episode to do just 100% art talk.
Yeah. I would listen to him talk about paintings if that's what he wants to talk about.
Frankly, I'd probably be more inclined to listen to him talk about paintings than baseball.
Yeah.
That would be, I'm pretty intrigued now, actually.
Anyways, there was a topic I was really dying to get to, and that was the Gold Glove finalists.
Yes.
That were
Let's
announced.
talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to lead with it. I didn't know how the audience would respond, but the Gold Glove finalists have been announced, and You wouldn't believe who's at first base in the American League. You would not believe it if I told you.
Who's at first base?
What? Oh, wait. I thought that was a tease for next week. I'm sorry.
Oh,
who's at first base?
Oh, do we want to wait to talk about it?
No. Don't go talking shit now. Come on. Who's at first base? You fucking asshole.
What's up?
Where are you going with this? You tell me. You tell me what's up. Where are you going with this? You stop talking and that wrist is moving awfully quick.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so excited about these finalists.
I could tell. Yeah, the names are on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about them?
Well, let's start at first base. Apparently, that's your
yeah. Let's talk about it.
That's your position du jour. Let's go. I don't know why you're starting there, but yeah,
let's talk about it.
Who do you like at first?
Man, who don't you like?
That was what I thought too, but I felt like he had a much better season than the other guy.
Yeah,
but I can see why they're all finalists.
Oh man, are we at left field already? Jeez. Oh, all right. Left field.
Hold on. In left field, we get Tyler Soderstrom.
Yeah, that's right.
Wyatt Langford and Stephen Kwan.
Yeah, this goes to Sodi. Give this to Sodi.
Yeah.
How do you not give this to Tyler Soderstrom? No, scratch that. Let me rephrase that. How did Tyler Soderstrom not take this award for himself? All right. You're going to hit me with numbers and statistics that might not equate to what some of the other guys. This is a catcher who was asked to put away the catching gear and make his way over to first base. He did so. It did so at an above average level and then had to make way for the rookie of the year. So they asked him to go play left field and learn how to do so in the big leagues. Can you do that for us? No problem. I'll just turn myself into a Gold Glove caliber fucking defender while learning how to play this position in the big leagues. And by the way, I'll hit 270 plus, 25 plus pumps. I'll be that dude for you too. Sound good? That's why Tyler Soderstrom should win the Gold Glove Award. There's just not many people learning how to play defense in the big leagues at a Gold Glove caliber clip, ladies and gentlemen. That is not easy to do, especially when you're being asked to move from behind the plate to an infield position at first base, which is demanding these days because it's not like they're just parking you over there on the corner and asking you to catch the ball from your infielders. You're playing in the middle of first and second base at times based on shifting and defensive movement. There's a lot of demand that comes to this position. And he did that very well and then went out and became a Gold Glover in left field as well. So Tyler Soderstrom, one of the guys who, in all seriousness, as you look through all of these awards and all of these positions and the finalists, this is a dude who should be appreciated at the end of the day because there's just nobody else on this list doing what he did.
Preach, man. Preach. Jay, hey, do you know how the finalists are determined since defensive metrics are probably they've gotten better over the last 10 years or so, but I would say the least accurate or the least telling the whole story statistic of anything that you can measure in baseball. Like, who comes up with the finalists?
My understanding is that it's a panel that Rawlings puts together of industry people-ish.
What does that mean?
Yeah, 30 MLB managers and up to 6 coaches from each team vote from a pool of players in their league, excluding players from their own team. That comprises 75% of the selection total, and then the Sabre Defensive Index counting for the other 25. So that is, and then, as I said, Rawlings collaborates with Sabre to execute this. So yeah, that's the statistical thing that they've incorporated into it to try and standardize or kind of provide a baseline for this that wasn't just, because I think like we can say that what is the Sabre defensive index, and that's fine, probably not interesting pod material, but I do think the Gold Glove
sounds
had
like
kind
a
of
government agency.
lost. It does kind of sound like that. I think it had lost its way or lost a lot of credibility over the years with fans, given that there was almost no correlation. Like it was almost like when you see instant replay in a sport and you're seeing one thing definitively and then they're saying they don't have enough evidence to overturn something. It's almost like there was just a gap between the information that all kind of consumers had and then the results that were being produced by the Gold Gloves. And I think they've tried to rescue that a little bit. And I think they've done a decent job of bringing it back because it would be nice if there was, credibility attached to the premier defensive award assigned in a given year.
We were talking about this a little bit before, and honestly, look, this wasn't supposed to be any more than just a thought from me on Tyler Soderstrom. But I mentioned that I think as an industry, we're in a position where it is as rewardable as it's ever been. I think the effort to try to contextualize defensive viability and defensive success and identify players that play defense really well and are a defensive presence. I think that aspect of the game has long gone underappreciated by layman fans because unfortunately at times the awards to identify defensive prowess have largely been predicated on offensive success. And so I think being able to just look at a guy, and I think with the evolution of the award system, right, the fact that we have a utility defender Gold Glove award, that's just another step in the direction of acknowledging that defense matters. And I think with the effort being made to try to contextualize defense, this is as close as we have ever been to being able to really pay off the defensive efforts of these players. Is it perfect? Not even close. Are they doing their due diligence to make it better? Yes. And I think you have to appreciate it at some point in time and quit bitching, which is what I'm learning to try to do with, couch probability and other things. I understand that it's a work in progress. So I can wait because I can also appreciate the effort being made to tell us how good these guys are.
All right, we interrupt this BID podcast to tell you about the great folks at Chubbies. I've been talking about Chubbies for a little while now, and I've been in the Rocket Performance Center trying to work on the quads so that I can build myself up confidence-wise to throw on some of the sleekest, sexiest pair of Chubbies that you've ever seen in your life, because that's what they're all about. They're about encouraging, letting that thigh loose, and that's where I'm trying to be. However, the leaves are turning, the temps are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Just because the weather is changing doesn't mean that you have to pack away the fun. Chubbies is here to make sure your fall wardrobe hits harder than a PSL on a slow Sunday morning with soft, stretchy fall staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. The Chubbies Fall Collection just dropped, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings the metaphorical and real heat. There's the new Comfort Collection featuring the Everywhere Jogger. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, and everything in between. We all agree fall should be cozy, not constricting, and Chubbies delivers peak softness without sacrificing an ounce of style. So go ahead, break up with the stiff pants and embrace the fun side of fall. Comfy, casual, and built for life, the Chubbies original stretch shorts can live on your legs. Available in long, short, and way short. They come with a relaxed fit, elastic waistband, and no fuss design. These are the kind of shorts that you'll forget that you're wearing until you get an onslaught of high fives and compliments. And boy, do I dream of that day. I dream of that day, Jake, when I get an onslaught of compliments on my thighs when I'm wearing chubby shorts. It's coming. I think it's going to be the summer of 2026. I think that's when it's going to be. Whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or leaning fully into fall comfort, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with the promo code BID at chubbiesshorts.com/BID. Promo code BID at chubbiesshorts.com/BID. Please support the show and show your thighs some respect with Chubbies. Also, while we're at it, while we're on the conversation of making ourselves look better, fellas, hair loss isn't just about hair. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. Hims helps you take back that confidence with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back on to your old self with simple 100% online access, trusted treatments for real healthcare concerns all in one place. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/BID. That's hims.com/BID, your free online visit, hims.com/BID. Now, back to the show. The Mike Shildt quotes, they look funny, but they're actually kind of sad. Or he was just like, I just want to go home. I was like, I feel you, brother.
What you hear? I mean, you hear all the other shit that's coming along with it, though? Like what he said?
Yeah, he said, I'm just tired and I want to go home, dude.
Well, like the gambling stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously just, nutbags out there that, I mean, the internet is just a vile, vile place. As someone who's been on the internet for 20 years, I've kind of myself just learned to not look at it that much, but like it's unavoidable. Like if you're going to do this job, you're going to be in sports, public figure, anything, like the internet is almost exclusively negative, almost exclusively toxic. Like some platforms are worse than others, but there's just a lot of just vile hatred out there. And if you're someone that has made enough money that you don't have to deal with this anymore, then fucking that's the American dream. God bless you. To just be like, I don't want to deal with this anymore and I don't have to, so I'm not. All right, cool, man. Like that's sick. You can just retire and ride off into the sunset and have enough money to take care of yourself and your family for the rest of your life and you're good. Like that's great. But I feel like a lot of people that live in the public eye, whether it's playing professional sports, covering them, or being surrounded by them, there is just a lot of just toxicity that unfortunately it's part of the job to have to subject yourself to. Like it's part of the job. It's almost impossible to avoid. But yeah, if you're the manager of a baseball team, you're going to be the subject of a lot of negativity and hatred because you're the first guy that people blame when the team loses. Like no one, like it, very rarely does a team win and you're like, man, that manager managed the shit out of that game. Sometimes that happens, but not super often. And when you lose, everyone is looking at the decisions that you made that led to that loss. So yeah, I can only imagine what it's like as a big league manager or a head coach of a professional sports team and the hatred and negativity that they must get subjected to on a daily basis. So yeah, I don't know. I salute him for, instead of just, powering through, like if it's really that bothersome and it's affecting his quality of life and you don't want to deal with it anymore, then don't. I just think it's sad that he can't continue doing something that he potentially still, like, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Let's say for the sake of argument, he still loves baseball and would love to keep managing. He just doesn't want to subject himself to that anymore. Then that's where it gets really sad. But yeah, I mean, he worked his whole life to have the financial freedom to walk away if he wanted to, and it sounds like that's what he's doing. Either way, it's like a super shitty, unfortunate situation, but is pretty blanketed in most forward-facing public figure online situations. A lot of hate, a lot of negativity, a lot of just vile stuff being said. Yeah.
I hope the PC finds in the 40 minutes of day one of official retirement is enough to allow him to gather perspective on the 40 plus years he spent in the game and give him all the confidence he would need for whatever reason to remind him, I've made the right decision. I am home. I am with my family. I am able to do so because of the work that I put in and the proud work that I leave behind. It should be no other feeling other than job well done. And it's unfortunate that there's going to be tinges of other things that kind of color in the departure, but ultimately, I think it's a baseball life well lived and one that he should be damn proud of.
Agreed. Volpe's getting shoulder surgery. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. Like, I don't know the severity of it. Obviously, if he was still playing postseason games, sounds more like a cleanup thing. I don't read too much into it. What torn labrum in the left shoulder. So not the throwing arm.
No, but that's his
Does his swing through arm.
That's the arm that's doing a lot of work on the swing. That's his lower hand.
Yeah. On May 3rd, the 24-year-old said he felt a pop following a diving defensive play against the Rays at Yankee Stadium. He received 2 cortisone injections during the season to treat the issue, one during the All-Star break and one in September, and missed 5 games from September 10th to the 14th. As of right now, no, I wouldn't rule it out either. Cashman said they'll just repeat imaging after the season and see where he's at. As of right now, there's no surgery recommended, not even an IL stint recommended. So how do you go from that to the operating table?
Well, wear and tear. I mean, you shoot it, you mask it, you grind it, you fray it, and by the end of it, the rope is frayed. We're going to need to tighten that thing up again. That's just how that goes. He knew it. All that shot's doing is masking the pain. You're still going to be fucking your arm up every movement you make. This just allows you to do it to a certain level of comfort, and we'll reconvene at the end of it because we know that shit's going to look a lot different.
If you're Anthony Volpe or you're the Yankees, why wouldn't you have just IL'd him? Like if he's out there being absolute dog shit and you have Caballero, huh?
Because they still needed him.
Did they?
Oh, in their mind, I mean, I'm not the one telling you. I mean, they're the ones making the decision. So I'm telling you why. You ask why they don't IL him. I'm telling you because they need him. And I'm telling you because they know this is going to be the end result. So we IL you now, don't use you, have to plug and play, pay somebody else. And we know you're going to have surgery at the end of this thing. So are you down to get a shot? You are? Fantastic. Let's do it.
What's the point of not telling the public that he's banged up?
It's
not like football where you can target
3 months
the area.
of people like us going, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go get somebody else? Why don't you? And you just gotta, and they know in their head.
Well, why
they've had
didn't
those
they?
Conversations?
Like if he's that bad, which he was dreadful, why not just IL him and put Caballero there, which is what they did in September anyway.
Maybe they felt like it was going to get better and then finally realized, oh, it's not. Let's not forget that this is a team who has had a recent track record of maybe overlooking or not accurately diagnosing some injuries that they've had to deal with. A la Luis Gil, right?
Do you think they would have traded Volpe this offseason, had an up-end for this surgery?
Possibly.
Jay?
Yeah, I think that would have been a real possibility. Yeah.
But you don't think so now?
I think it's obviously more complicated. I don't think it totally takes it off, but it would be hard to acquire him without seeing him demonstrate some level of health, I would think, at the value that the Yankees would want to be trading him. Because it seems like you'd be trading him at a low point, and you would in some sense, but I think they'd be pointing to, his general competence at the position prior to kind of his real bad downturn and his defensive metrics and being like, this is a player who's controllable, who's a 2.5 to 3.5 win player, and they'd want value for that. So it's a tough spot.
All right, Dallas, you got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Do you got any final thoughts today?
Yeah, I do. Just discussing the Gold Glove Award finalists. I would like to shine the light on what do you got, Jay?
We already did that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, no, I'm circling back, and I'm going to mention something else though.
Okay.
Because I know you guys are pretty high on your center fielder out there in Boston, which I think is adorable. Because for Denzel Clark, this is someone who got forgotten about very quickly, and I'm just here to remind you that he was the best defender in all of baseball before he got hurt. Plus 13 outs above average in just 47 games played. So if you were to just triple his games, which would come out to 141, that would put him at 39 outs above average, which is far and away better than Ceddanne Rafaela at plus 22. But that just kind of gives you an idea of, what we're excited about and what we're loving when we see Rafaela make great play after great play and what that looks like. Just think about what quite literally double that type of production would look like with a guy like Denzel Clark. So the best center fielder in baseball will be back next year to claim the throne. And I don't see him giving that up for a long time.
Jay, hey, any Nuggs?
Yeah, just two quick ones here. We talked about it. The Dodgers' dominance in the starting rotation, put some numbers to that. 1.54 ERA so far in the 2025 postseason. There have only been 3 starting rotations to deliver a sub-2 ERA in a single postseason in the wild card era in at least 50 innings pitched, which is a threshold the Dodgers have now met. The 2012 Tigers, the 2001 D-backs, and the 96 Braves. You'll note that only one of those teams actually won the World Series that year. Not sure what that means. But a lot of people said, hey, I'm surprised not to see the White Sox on there, the 05 White Sox. People remember the World Series for the 05 White Sox. The postseason is a long thing, and that speaks to how rare it is because their overall postseason ERA was 2 and change. And then the Dodgers MVP trio, Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, obviously, is hitting a combined 230, 330, 410. That's a 740 OPS in 115 plate appearances. Obviously, some of those people are doing a lot more lifting in that trio than others. But the point being that in 115 plate appearances, they've gotten a 740 OPS out of those two, and they are 2 wins away from a return trip to the World Series. Almost like this team still really hasn't even gotten going yet. So those are the Nuggs, and those are my final thoughts.
Okay, we'll be back for Just the Nuts tonight. Please join us. Jacob Nottingham, also the special guest this evening for Jays Mariners. And again, we'll be live streaming every single playoff game from here on out, including BID podcasts. You'll still be getting those as well. But yeah, on playback, download the app. You can watch the game with us and join in on the chat. We still see the YouTube chat. So it's streaming on YouTube, it's streaming on Twitter, and it's streaming on playback. Please join us. We'll see you for every single game. Goodbye.
We go.